G'day guys, Justin here from Just Your Average Fishos, and if you're like me in Melbourne lockdown, there's nothing more frustrating than looking at your boat in the shed, if you're lucky enough to have it in the shed, and not feeling like you're getting your fishing fix. However, that being said, there's still things that you can do, and I've suggested different things before, and now let's talk about caring for your gel coat. This boat is an early 2017. It doesn't look like it's been a day out of the showroom, and before all you punters give me shit and say it's because it's never seen water or it doesn't catch fish, you would all know from the reports that it does, but fair cop, I'll pay that. However, I am absolutely anal when it comes to making this thing look like it is brand new every time it goes out to fishing. Now, not everyone has that time, nor do I really that much these days. I want to tell you and give you a little bit of insight to how you can look after your boat. Now, if your boat is very faded and not glossy like this, you will need to cut and polish it. And if it's super chalky and faded, you'll probably need to acid wash it. You can go to Whitworth's and a lot of other boat places and buy something called Cleaner Hull. And that's a really good start for removing a lot of the chalkiness and bringing your gel coat back to life. Just follow the instructions on the back. It's pretty simple stuff, rather than using pool chlorine or hydrochloric acid, which can get you in a bit of trouble. Cleaner Hull is a pretty good product. Still need to be careful with it. If your boat is a newer boat, like mine, you might just need to do a cut and polish, and you can buy a rotary polisher. You can hire them. You can probably got mates who are detailers who can use one, and you'll be able to get to a really good finish like this. Okay. Now, wax is a great product. Wax is a natural product, freely available. Different boat waxes will last different amounts of time, but certainly in the underwater sections, it doesn't last at all. The salt water, because the salt is viscous in the water, can attack different, treatment coatings and stuff like that. And as you can see here, this is pretty awesome all the way around. And I haven't cut and polished this for, I think I did it maybe a year and a half, or maybe at the start of the first lockdown. So let's have a little talk about what you might be able to do and what products you might use to get your hull back to some sort of reasonable looking nature. So if it does need a cut and polish, the thing to remember is that gel coat and flow coat and so forth is very, very hard. So you can cut and polish it with wool on a rotary polisher, and that will often leave streaks in the sun. You could use a random orbital polisher, or what we call a DA polisher, with a foam pad or even a wool pad, and that will give you a bit of a better finish. You tend to use a hard compound first, then a lighter compound, and then you put your surface treatment over the top. A couple of rules with this. So, to first of all break through some pretty hard stuff, there is a professional detailing shop online that can deliver anywhere around Australia called waxit.com.au. They have their own brand called Precision. This is a really easy to use cut and polish, okay? So don't need to use a lot of it. Doesn't have that sandy feel because they use what's called DAP, which is diminished abrasive particles or something like that. Freckler. This is pretty well known within the boating industry, pretty hard sort of cut and polish, and is one that I would use on a few boats that I've done before for friends. And the Maguire's, pretty well known name. Again, you can buy all these on eBay, on the internet, no problems. They're about $60 for a litre. You'd probably use to a 6 metre boat, maybe 300 to 500 mil, depending on how heavy you are. You don't need to go that heavy, less is better. The Maguire's one, that's a really good one to do after the first cut and polish, to do a secondary step. And then the trick is that you want to wipe all of that off to make sure that your surface protection adheres and bonds and lasts longer. Now, there's a whole lot of different ones to use. A lot of people like wax, Maguire's, wet look, different stuff like that. Here's the one, if you're a bit of a traditional polishing person, that you can buy. Now, it's a little bit harder to find, available on eBay or different aviation or RV shops. It's quite an older product out of the US called Rejects. It's like a barrier cream, so it doesn't enhance the view at all, but where it adheres correctly, it is a polymer-based product. It creates this really hydrophobic water protection layer on your boat, and it's almost like applying a sunscreen that lasts for a long time. On RVs and cars, I've put it on the old Ranger. It's still water beating after 6 months, and my Ranger lives outside. You can have a look at the motor here. It's pretty insane, right? However, this product is a bit of a pain in the sense that if you've got an older gel coat that's a little bit porous on the outside, it's not like the factory finish, it's an absolute prick to get on and get off. You polish it on and off, wipe it off with microfiber towels as you would on your car. It's a real pain in the butt. It can be very hard to rub off, and you can layer it. You can do multiple layers, which will add more protection. Other things that people are doing these days, particularly detailers in the detailing world, are using more of polymer sprays. So this is an Australian-owned one, pretty well researched, about $35 for 500 mils from any super cheap auto. So this is just as easy as wipe on, let it sit for a minute, wipe off. There are more professional ones, so Precision on Wax that have one called Lustre, but you're paying about $45 for 250 mils. However, 30 mils would do the outside of a 6 metre boat. You just mist and wipe it on so thinly, let it cure for a couple of days and then go over it again. Same with this Bowden's bead machine. Again, the surface needs to be really well prepared, and then you want to chemically remove any cut and polish residues so it will adhere to the surface as best as you possibly can. Okay, so that means that you don't use thinners or anything like that, but isopropyl alcohol, you can buy 500 ml bottles from Bunnings. You'd probably use maybe a 40% solution to water mix in a little sprayer, wipe that on, wipe it after you've cut and polished, wipe the whole boat down, let that dry, then apply a couple of coats of this or this, all right? And then that will keep you pretty well protected. Now, that bead machine, that polymer spray, is also awesome for your clears. Now, these are a little bit dirty at the moment, but those clears, in fairness, these are I've had these restitched in recently, but my old clears, Anthony, Ben could attest that, after, 4 years, they were still looking pretty brand new. The reason why I changed them is that I needed some new zips and bits and pieces. And Covercraft down in Bayswater, who was fantastic, they charge you like $70 a clear to restitch them in. So you're not doing the new blue part at all, they're just restitching in clear. So and then that should keep your motor and your boat looking like this. Now, one detraction from this is that everyone says, oh mate, I want to pull you up the ramp and talk to you about your brand new boat. Well, it's not so brand new, but that's okay. The other thing is if you need to walk around the side and you get a little bit of water on the walkway here when you're down at the ramp, hopping on and off the boat, whatever, it's bloody slippery, so you need to be careful. But there you go. So that's talking about some topical treatments for your boat, polish and so forth. I hope that's been helpful. Always like and subscribe to the page. Just Your Average Fishers on Facebook or Instagram, talking about boat care.